things to say about Daron, but before I introduce Daron, a couple things I just wanted to mention. First, thanks for coming. I think it's a big step for Pointer Athletics. Two things. In about a week, the rankings will come out for the Directors' Cup, rankings for Division III athletics, and I think we're currently at 6th. I might see that go up. It was a big thing for our program this year. We're very competitive. And also this year, most of you are aware of it, but we won the Jostens Community Service Award. And I think when I look at our athletic program, I think it's more than just an athletic program. Our students, our athletes are great students, and they're tied into the community. And I think winning both these awards really says how accomplished our athletic program is. And I just wanted to remind you of all of that. And then the other thing I wanted to do before we start is to say thank you to the committee, the hiring committee. It's a long process. If you know anything about hiring at UW-Stevens Point or the state institution, it's a very long and arduous process. And the committee did an excellent job of finding candidates and bringing us a new athletic director. And then the other person I'd like to thank is Dr. Rory Suomi, who's standing over in the corner. And Rory, for this past semester, has done double duty as the chair of the department and also as the athletic director, interim athletic director. And these are two jobs that are more than full-time. And he did them, I think, masterfully for this semester, so we owe him an awful lot. So, there are a few things. Daron, if you want to join me up here for a second, I'll say a few things about Daron. Daron comes from the University of Detroit Mercy, rising from Director of Ticket Operations and Sales, a position which he held 13 years ago, to Associate Athletic Director. Since 2006, he's been the Senior Associate Athletic Director at UDM. His duties included supervision of games management and ticket operations, marketing and promotion, special events and athletic development. He was the overseer of all corporate sponsorships and fundraising at UDM as well. Daron was also actively involved in planning and hosting the 2009. I'm
not that old.
I'm sorry. The 2009 NCAA Division I men's basketball Final Four that was hosted at Ford Field in Detroit. If I'm not mistaken, he was really the person most directly responsible for that event when that happened. Daron was also a coach. He served as the head women's tennis coach, and in 2002 was named the Horizon League Coach of the Year. Early in his career, he worked for 2 seasons with the Hickory Crawdads minor league baseball affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. He's got vast experiences in athletics and brings those to us at UW-Stevens Point. He also holds a degree in sports management and a master's degree in athletic administration from Ball State University. Daron and his wife Karen, and Daron, if you raise your hand, is here today. I have 2 children, Bailey, who is 4, and Izzy, who is 2, and Daron says that they will be at all of the games with purple and gold on, and it will be fun to have them here as well. What we noticed about Daron is his high energy, his attention to detail. He's positive, confident, good communicator, and I'm sure he'll bring all those and more to his position here at UW-Stevens Point. And so I'm pleased to announce the next Director of Athletics for UW-Stevens Point, Daron Montgomery.
That's enough about me. This isn't about my day. I really think that it's about your day. And as I talk to Jack Porter, some of the student athletes, the head coaches, what makes Stevens Point so special are the people, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But thank you for that kind of introduction, Marty. I know that Bernie couldn't be here today, but I certainly want to take the opportunity to thank your Chancellor, and now my Chancellor, Bernie Patterson, Marty, the Dean of the College of Professional Studies, Dr. Rory Suomi, and Nate, the co-chairs. And while I won't acknowledge all of the members of the Search and Screen Committee, I certainly thank everyone from Chancellor Patterson all the way down to everyone on the Search Committee for having the confidence to select me as the next Director of Athletics. It's certainly an honor as I get to know more and more of you on this, my second official visit. It's certainly an honor to stand here today as your next AD, and I am very excited and very enthusiastic. And if you don't believe Marty or me, just ask Shirley, my counterpart. We've had a lot of great conversations, and we're ready to kind of hit the ground running. Before I go too far in my remarks, I certainly want to take the opportunity to give one individual who deserves a tremendous amount of credit for the success of Pointer athletics, and that's my predecessor, Frank O'Brien. I have not yet had the opportunity to meet face-to-face with Frank, and I look forward to doing that at the earliest opportunity. Frank was a leader for decades, and again, he deserves a ton of credit for helping make UWSP athletics what it is today. And what it is today is, as Marty said, one of the most successful Division III programs in the country. And the past success of Pointer student athletes, the coaches, we've won national championships. Certainly that success was a huge factor in making this position one that was very attractive to me at this point in my career. I know that, again, Frank couldn't be here, but it's very important that we thank Frank for his dedication to the program. I have met many of you already when I visited campus for the first time back in mid-May, and I commend the search committee for hosting the finalists at a nice time of year where there's no snow on the ground. Your campus was beautiful, and I haven't met all of you, but I can tell all of you that have met me and those that haven't, I can pledge to be full of positive energy, enthusiasm, every day on the job. Over the next few weeks, months, and years, we're going to work hard, we're going to have a positive attitude, we're going to have a lot of fun along the way, and I think if we do that, we'll continue to build on the success here at Point. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge a handful of people whose names you might not be familiar with. First, Brad Kinsman. Brad was my first athletic director, and Brad, a good mentor and a wonderful friend, gave me my first job in college athletics. So to Brad, I say thank you. My current director of athletics, we've worked as a colleague, we're great friends, she's a great athletic director, that's Carrie Gaither. Carrie's been a great AD for the last few years, and we sure did have a lot of fun hosting this little event back in 2009 called the Final Four. It's something that we'll remember for quite a long time. The most difficult part, I think, about leaving Detroit are the years of relationships that Karen and I have built. Without question, leaving those behind is a challenge. And if you sense the trepidation in my voice, it's because I care about what I do. But to everyone back in Titan territory, thank you. That said, I can certainly tell everyone here, from Johnny to my question-asking friend here on my left hand, there's one thing that stood out in my mind when I went back. And you come for 2 days, and I survived the driving tour with Al, your swimming coach, and with Nate and our truck driver here, Johnny Johnson. If there was one thing that I took back to Detroit as I began to kind of think through the decision-making process, it was the people. And, you know, I look around to my right at guys like Tony and Pat that wore the uniform. I'm humbled to stand here and tell you that what made the difference in my mind as we come on board is you folks. It's the people. It's John and Sheila, who we were fortunate enough to have lunch with today. And one of the biggest challenges as an outsider is to come in and hit the ground running. And I have to lean on the support and the friendship of all of you folks as we move into the next era of Pointer athletics. Karen, Bailey, Izzy, and I, we look forward to building some of those relationships here during my next few years at Point. And I think I have a lot to offer. as your next athletic director. I certainly, after a few meetings this morning, had a lot to learn, but I can promise you, and I shared this with the members of the search committee, our coaches, our student athletes, our athletic staff members, our children, we are going to work hard, we are going to have a positive attitude, and we have to have a lot of fun. But if we do that, again, I said it earlier, I know that we will continue to build upon many, many years of success here at Point and carry that tradition into the future. Thanks everyone for being here. We have to go back to Detroit, and we're going to go back to Detroit excited about getting back here to Point and becoming part of the university and the community at large. And again, I'm honored to be here, and as soon as I get back, I'll roll up my sleeves and we're going to get ready to work. I'd be happy to take any questions.